Hello. It has been far too long. Way too long, honestly, but lots been going on, so I felt like I needed to make this. This is the first time I've gotten any sort of time to do it. So if I'm a little discombobulated, I guess, it's because I'm exhausted and still doing things. So first and foremost, let me thank all of you who supported me during my last, video, because it was super helpful and it's benefited me a lot. On one hand, things have gotten better, uh, especially because of your generosity, and on another level, things have gotten worse because of the reasons that things happened. So first and foremost, I did find a place to live. Um, Granted, I'm sharing a one-bedroom apartment with my brother-in-law, but it'll work for 10 months um, for our lease. It's a roof over our head. We'll survive. Um, so hopefully, once I finish moving in there, I can go back to making content for all of you. Um, the only reason I haven't yet is because we've been moving everything out of the place we were at and trying to move my mother out because she doesn't believe that we're actually moving, and she doesn't believe that she's being evicted, even though she is. So I have a place. I have a place to live, and I will hopefully be living there in the near future because I already moved my roommate in there 3 weeks ago, and the only reason I'm still here is to watch over her. But I do have a place to live. We do, we're gonna have a roof over our head. I have internet. I will be able to do things. So I'm hoping that once I get back there, I can get back to doing things again. That'll be the hope. But that's going to be probably at least 2 weeks. Maybe. 1.5 weeks, maybe two. Because we still have so much to do to get my mother out of here. She has so much stuff. She's a hoarder and she's mentally ill. So there's a lot we have to do. And I apologize for the audio quality not being great. I kind of had to jerry-rig this together because I stupidly packed a bunch of my equipment. That was not exactly a smart move on my part, but it's, chaotic. Anyway. Anyway, so that's probably the near future. So hopefully we can get things going again. And I'm hoping once I get things, taken care of there, I can start getting back to recording and I can, get back to producing things for everybody. Beyond that, though, near future, long-term future, what do I, plan to do? What do I intend to do with all of this? Things like that. So, since the crisis has been mostly dealt with, although it's still in progress of being dealt with, what's the future look like? What is my future plans for all of this? What am I intending on doing? What am I, going to do in the future? Well, first and foremost, I do kind of want to get back into the process of, finding whatever social media is good to promote my stuff. Well, I guess not really promote, but engage with people with my stuff. The problem is unfortunately, as I've gotten older, I've gotten less familiar with what kids today do. And I don't say kids because I have no interest in applying any of my work to anyone under the age of 21. But I don't know, I'm just adding a loop basically. Because Twitter's just kind of gone downhill, and I'm not much of a Redditor, and Discord has its own things, but I can't manage a Discord server. So, I guess I'll upload my stuff to Tumblr. I don't know. And that's also kind of a dead site. I don't know. I'm just not familiar with what people do today. It's just not my, familiarity on top of the autism. The other thing is, I'm not very social in general. I prefer to keep a lot of things at arm's length. But I would like to, I don't know. I would like to find people to work with again. I would like to become more social again. I would like to, engage with people the way I used to. Again. Just because, I haven't. And don't worry, I'm not going to become, one of those weirdos on TikTok or anything. It's not my goal. But I don't know. I would like to be able to engage with people more, even if I keep most of my business separate. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense. But just personality-wise, I'm just not socially able to maintain, like, the kind of presence that other people that I know do. So to mention one person who I respect. Mostly I think she's on TikTok these days. Hypnotic Aphrodite is a really good hypnotist. She does real good work, but she runs, her own Discord server, and, she is very social, and I could never do what she does. I'm always impressed by the amount of social activity that she gets up to, and it's just not something I could do, like, at all, just because I'm not that social. I prefer a very small group of people who I'm familiar with, as opposed to, like, large amounts of people that I'm not. But that's another thing for another day. But basically what I'm trying to get at is I'd like to start engaging with people again, and I want to start, working with people again, I guess, because I haven't really in the last few years worked with basically anyone. When I started out in this, years ago, I was working with a lot of different people, and I felt that my content was improving at a much higher rate than it does today. But yeah, I don't know. I just like to do that again, but I have a very strict policy on never engaging first. I have a very, very strict policy on I don't reach out to people, they reach out to me. And on some level, that's not good for finding more people, but it's intentional because I don't want people pretending to be me, and people have tried to do that over the years, and it's real scummy of them. But the way in which I prevent that is by making a very, very hard policy of I don't ever reach out first. Other people will reach out to me, and that's how you'll know it's actually me, because other people are reaching out to me first. I don't reach out to anyone else first. And that's just to prevent people using, my name and content for abusive things. That's just the future. But yeah, I hope in the future that I can get back to making content once I finish getting this whole moving thing done, and I'll have a roof over my head permanently. I can get back to focusing on this and focusing on trying to make more content and getting my audio set up the way I want to again. But yeah, that's the near future. That's the near and long-term future, and that's what I'm hoping for. Again, thank you all for all of your support. Seriously helped me out when I was paying $500 in application fees to find a place to live. But yeah, so thank you all for everything. It means a ton to me, and I'm hoping I can find a way to repay my community because you all helped me out of a jam. So yeah, thank you all. I guess I'll see you all later, and hopefully I'll figure out something to do in terms of reconnecting with a lot of you. Obviously the best way to connect with me is via email, because I don't know, I'm an old man, I suppose, despite not being that old. But yeah, see y'all later.